What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Montez McCarron from itsmontez.com. On this upload, you're going to find out how you too can score interviews with big wigs, big people who are doing big business. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, and share. Thanks so much for tuning in. What did you do to start connecting with these individuals? What like maybe some people have resumes, some people have these things. Now, when you're first starting out, what kind of things did you do to be able to connect with such business heads?
Right. That's a really good question. When I first started out, so the advantage I had in starting twoquestions.tv is that years ago, before the Guinness World Record event, before that, I had a small podcast called Business and Blue Jeans Radio. And I think you can still find it on YouTube. And that was the hour-long thing that I did. And it's funny, my very first interview, you sent me a link to your Bob Berg interview. And it's funny because he was the very first person I asked to let me interview him for my podcast. And I've told Bob this, and I have no problem sharing this strategy. This is probably something that will be useful for people. And I know you already know this strategy, but I emailed Bob a very sincere email and said, I really loved your book. Here are the reasons why. Here are the ways in which it changed me as a human being, the way it changed my business. And I would really like to spend an hour talking with you and going in between the lines of what was in your book and asking the things that occurred to me as I read the book, which I imagine occurred to other people. And so I just sent him this very nice email and said, would you let me talk to you for an hour for my podcast? It's brand new. You'd be my first interview. I've never, interviewed someone before. So I prepared hardcore for that interview, like no joke, for hours, and he was so, you've talked with Bob, so he's a very generous person, and he's very generous with his time and open and giving. And so he wrote back right away, said, absolutely, I'd love to. And we scheduled it, and that was my first interview. And so once I had done that interview, I felt like empowered that I could then name drop. And I could say, I've done this interview. Could I interview you, Larry Wingett, for example? Another great guy who's also very generous with his time and very generous with interviews. And they have become not just guys that I interview, but they both were on my event. Larry keynoted the Guinness event. They've both been very supportive of my career since then. And I consider them kind of informal mentors to me now. And they've also introduced me to a number of people who are just really phenomenal people. So the way that I went about it was to find one person who said yes. And I got lucky that the first person I asked said yes. But when you do things, you may have to ask 10 people and they may say no, but you just keep asking people and you will get a yes. Eventually you'll get a yes. And I think it goes without saying, like, when you don't ask, you already have a no, because you didn't ask. And so if you ask, you at least know for sure. No, okay, great, I'm moving on. and I will send out, probably 10 emails at a time when I'm doing something like that. And I'll send out 10 emails to 10 people. And maybe I get a yes out of that, maybe I don't. Maybe I get 10 yeses, maybe I get 10 no's, maybe I get 5 yeses, 5 no's, 8 yeses, 2 no's, and who knows what I get, but at least I get something back. And sometimes I don't. Sometimes people don't write back for months. And then you get an email like, did I even ask that person? What is that? And so it, the point is persistence pays off, right? So you just ask. And then once you have your first yes, you can parlay that into a bunch more yeses. And so I've used that time and time again over the years. I think the way that I got my yeses early on were name dropping and showing credibility, showing my website, my blog, where I've written for a long time, and that I'm serious about what I do, and I take my work seriously, and I have a really strong work ethic. And so when you can show that, and when you can show that you can bring something to the table for them, so it's not just, hey, I want to interview you, come talk to me, but hey, I really loved what you did. It means a lot to me. It helped me in these ways. I'd like to share your work. Here's the value piece. I'd like to share your work with other people who might watch my show. Now, my show's new now. I might not have anybody to watch it right away, but down the road, as I get more guests, as I get more viewers, as more people are watching me, I will have more viewers for your show as well. And I'll continue to actively promote your show over time, over the long haul. So to me, it's not just value today, but value in the long haul that really gets you the yeses and showing that you're serious about what you do. So that's kind of my strategy is get the first yes and show you're serious and do good work, and then you continue to get yeses.
Montez McCammons from ismontez.com. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share. If you don't do that, you're not going to be able to keep up. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Montez McCammons from ismontez.com.